Hi guys, this is Women in Technology Oslo, and today we're going to show you how to create a CSS on the iPhone. The purpose of today's video is to give you an idea of the basics of HTML and CSS. We will walk you through each exercise, but feel free to also experiment yourself. So here we go. In the first exercise, we'll create and style an invisible box that will serve as the frame of the future iPhone. In order to do that, we first add a div with a class name box in HTML, and afterwards we style the box using CSS code. So in this next exercise, we'll create and style elements that will serve as the basis for all other details. To make this side of our future iPhone, we'll add a div with a class name side, and then we'll apply a CSS property, border radius, with predefined values. Here we'll define the radius of top left, top right, and bottom left corners respectively. Try to change some values and see how it looks like on the preview. So as you can see, we're already creating the frame here, and in order to give it this realistic look, we'll use the CSS property gradient. We can do that by adding the background image property with predefined values, where the first value is for angle of the gradient, the second is for the color stop 1, the third is for color stop 2, and the fourth is the percentage of opacity. And if you're wondering where to find such values, you can go to cssgradient.io, which is a free tool that lets you create a gradient background. So in exercise 3, we'll add a 3D effect to the image of your iPhone. Using the CSS property transform, we can rotate the iPhone on X and Z axis. You can afterwards preview the code, change the degree value, and observe the changes. Afterwards, you'll have to add a CSS transform style property, and that one specifies how nested elements are rendered in 3D space. Preserve 3D specifies that child elements will preserve their 3D position. What's extremely important here is that you don't forget to add perspective to the box class. The perspective property defines how far the object is away from the user. So a lower value will result in a more intensive 3D effect than a higher value. You can try to change the perspective and see how it gets a more intense 3D effect. Coming up next are some small but important details that add a very nice touch to the iPhone image. So what we'll do is to add some shadows. In order to that, we syntax a CSS property, box shadow, and then add an insert keyword, a color value, the angle of the shadow, spread distance, blur distance, and the size of the shadow. Here again, you can also experiment and see how the image will look. So we're almost done, but what our picture lacks as yet is the home button to our phone. What we'll do in this exercise is to make a frame of the button using the CSS property gradient. We are now at the very last exercise, and it's time to make an iPhone screen with the text on it. Let your fantasy flow here and adjust the background color or image of your screen as well as the text. So this was it, guys. We hope this video has provided some helpful guidance on how to create a CSS image. Feel free to share with us what you've made on our Facebook and Instagram pages. Thank you so much. Stay tuned for more tutorials.